We are live. We're live, man. It's been a little bit. How we doing? How are we doing? UFC 309's in the books. I just recently dropped a video talking about John Jones and Tom Aspinall. That's kind of like my recap for John versus Stipe, kind of, and then talking about the Aspinall fight. So I also made a full card recap video, which is out as well. So yeah. What's going on, Diego Lopez fan? How you doing, man? What's up, Tehran? How you doing? It's been a minute. It's been a minute, man. I've had a lot going on these past 10 weeks behind the scenes and everything. So it's been hard to go live and get content done. So I've been pulling it off, man. I've been pulling it off though. So yeah, man. But yeah, so again, I just dropped that video on Aspinall versus John Jones, and I want to see the fight. I just don't think we see it happen. I don't think we see it happen, unfortunately. So I don't know. I think it's the biggest heavyweight of all time if they can pull it off. The problem is pulling it off, right? Because John doesn't need the fight. You know, what motivates him at this point? And I don't know. You know, I'm all for it. I'm just saying. I'm just basically pointing out what I think is going on in John's head. That was the point of that video. So if you didn't see that, make sure you guys check that one out. And then I did a full card recap, and I'm thinking about doing a full card recap for the fight night this week, or I might just do main card for fight nights and then for pay-per-views full cards. What's up, Sankey? That's going to be probably tomorrow. I'm going to have I'm just deciding. You guys let me know, because what the issue is this. I run into where it's the pay-per-views. I'm usually able to do enough research to where I know what the hell I'm talking about for every single fight on the card. Where I run into some issues is for the fight nights. Some of the stuff I'm not like super in tune with some of the people, and I don't want to half-ass talking about certain fights. So what I'm thinking of doing is for pay-per-views, I'll do a full card breakdown and prediction videos. And for fight nights, unless it's like a star-studded fight night, I'll do just the main card only, because I got a lot to say about the main card. The problem is I'm looking at the prelims and I'm like, I know who some of the guys are, but so and that's just kind of how I'm thinking. And it kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit on some of them, because I'm like, it feels like a chore, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But that's what I'm thinking about doing. So I'm going to do main card predictions. That'll be out tomorrow, because I just did a video on Aspinall, John Jones. Let's see. How far does Tom make it? I mean, I think he makes it far, man. I think he makes it far. I think that him versus John would be a fun fight. I just don't know if we get it. Alex Pineda is a bigger fight than Tom at this point, though, dude. This whole narrative, the whole week with like people talking about Tom, like I feel like Tom's name is out there more than ever. I don't know. I think it's a big fight with Poatan also, but I think the Aspinall fight actually might surprise some people. I actually think that could be bigger. I do. Because like people are going to be like, there's no way, because it's like there's two sides. People are like, there's no there's not many people that are going to sit in between and be like, this is a great fight stylistically. Like people are like, fuck you, John. Aspinall's going to beat your ass. And then there's people that are like, no, John, the John Jones loyal fan base are going to say, fuck Aspinall. To where if it's Pineda and Jones, everyone's just like, two cool dudes. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that there's a little bit, I think that fight could be big. Do I think there will be a finish in the Shavkat Gary fight, or do I think it will go to the scorecards? What's up, Colstrom? I think if Shavkat wins, I think we see like a submission. And if Gary wins, I could see it being a decision, but I could also see Gary getting a finish. People are really overlooking Ian Gary in this fight. Early prediction, I said that I was going with Ian Gary. Obviously, like the closer we get, I watch more film, so it's like fresh in my mind when I make content, but I think Ian Gary's a problem, dude. I was watching the Jeff Neal fight before I made a video reacting to the news from Dana where Covington's fighting Buckley, which is funny as shit because Buckley's going to beat the shit out of Colby. And then you got Shavkat and Ian Gary, and I was like, that's a great matchup. And I was watching Shavkat versus, remember Cowboy Oliveira, Alex Oliveira, right? I think was his real name. We just called him Cowboy Oliveira. He was fun to watch. But he was landing on Shavkat. Shavkat's stand-up is really, I think it's overrated, to be honest with you. So I could see Ian Gary causing him some issues, to be honest. You're not even excited for the Saturday's card? I'm excited for the main card. The prelims, the main card is actually really good. I like the main card. Yeah, main card prediction video. That'll be out probably tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can, when I get off here, see if I could get it done today maybe, and then have it ready for tomorrow. Maybe get members to see it first, but we'll see. Probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. But that's what I'm thinking of doing. Fight nights, main card breakdown, pay-per-views, full card. Make it interesting, make it fun. What's up, Couch Warrior? How you doing, man? The Jones Glazer. I'm not a Jones Glazer, man. I was making that video off the moment. Then I went back and rewatched it. I got called actually on X. I'm an Aspinall Glazer, and then on YouTube I'm a Jones Glazer, I think. So, what's up, Craze? How you doing, man? Do you think Jones beats Aspinall with a good game plan? Maybe, but I still don't think so. John Jones fan base is Dana White casuals. Dana White plus casuals. I mean, it can be. Who was the bigger cheater this weekend, Michael Chandler or Katie Taylor? Dude, I don't know, because Katie Taylor was like with the cut and everything, rubbing her fucking hair into it and shit. I was kind of dirty, but Chandler was throwing hella back a shot, shots to the back of the head. That was messed up. So bigger cheater. I don't know. Because Katie Taylor won. So like if Chandler would have won and then it would have happened, I would have been like, Chandler's a big cheater. But then like since Katie Taylor won, I might have to go Katie Taylor, to be honest. Shavkat is overrated. He's got a title shot with Magny, Neal, and Old Wonder Boy. Yeah, dude, like that's what I've been saying about Shavkat. I think he's labored on the feet. I think he's kind of slow. I don't know, dude. Like, I think he's good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's a great fighter. I just think Ian Gary, like, styles make fights. Like, Ian's fast, dude. Like, whether you like Ian Gary or not, he's a good fighter. He's long, he's rangy. His kicks are really good. Shavkat doesn't deal with kicks very well. And if Shavkat, like, well, Gary will accept being on the back foot, which is, I guess, the good thing for Shavkat. So he doesn't have to worry about, like, trying to fight for the center because Ian will give him that. But I think that Gary, I don't know. I could just see him picking apart Shavkat. The issue that I have is Gary hasn't really been finishing people. I know he's had like a couple nice KOs where he caught D-Rod with the head kick. He KO'd his UFC debut. What was his name? Jordan Williams or something. I think that dude was in and out of the UFC fast as shit. But yeah, he got KO'd by Gary. But outside of that, Gary's just, I don't know. It's an interesting fight. What's up, Lane? Yeah, on X, I just try to have more fun on there, man. Try to have more fun. Jones was getting touched up by Stipe a little bit. If that was Tom, he would end Jones 100%, dude. If Tom Aspinall lands on John, I think I don't know, because the thing is, like, I do think he would hurt him, but John's got underrated durability, though. Yeah, I don't really try to trigger people. I just like put out a thought that I believe in, and I'm like, there you go. There's other people that are like, let me put out some stupid shit because I know it'll get. Like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm actually putting out like a legit thought. Like Hamzat would beat the shit out of Bo Nickel because he would. What's up, Rocco? How you doing, man? Those hits were to the side of the head. I got to watch it back. I saw people were like up in arms about it. And when I was watching it, the commentary was like, he's hitting him to the back of the head. And it looked like it, but I got to watch it back, though. Yeah, Roberto Romero, he impressed, man. That was like one of those things. It kind of reminded me of like, he did better than him, though, was Moutinho versus O'Malley, because Chris Moutinho, like, no one knew who he was. And he stepped in there and like, he just showed that he was durable and tough, and O'Malley couldn't finish him. And it like rose his stock off of a loss. I mean, it's not the same thing. I'm just saying, like, David Onama's good, man. He's good. And Romero was putting a good pace on him. Yeah, Ian and Shavkat, yeah, they haven't fought anybody in the top of the division, which is what makes this really interesting, to be honest. You think they should do Holloway versus Chandler next for the BMF in July, considering both men are coming off losses? I actually like that. But I don't know. They might do Oliveira to give him something to do in the meantime. Shavkat is too comfortable with eating punches. Gary not knocking him out, but could win a decision because of that. Yeah, that's how I see it going. I think Ian Gary just picks him apart, honestly. Like, if there's a finish, I think it's Shavkat. But again, how Shavkat, we saw against Jeff Neal, he was getting pieced up, dude. You know, and Gary's slick on the feet, man. He is. Whether you like the guy or not, he's slick on the feet. Oliveira versus Hooker, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. Jones's underrated durability is at light heavyweight, though. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We haven't really seen him get hit flush at heavyweight. I mean, Stipe landed some shots, but you know, Gon didn't land anything other than a nut shot. I think that was the only shot that landed. Rufy versus Ribovic, Esteban Ribovic. That'd be a great fight. They're not going to do that, though. They're not going to do that. They're going to be careful with Mauricio Rufy, especially after that last fight. But I told you guys in that full card prediction, I'm like, look, everyone's going to think that Rufy, the expectation is he's just going to go out there and knock Lon Top out in like 10 seconds. And I'm like, dude, Peruvian Diaz versus Brazilian McGregor. That was like that fight. It was literally Mauricio Rufy is a sniper. He was picking his shots, landing good, clean shots that would have put a lot of other dudes out. And James is tough as shit. I saw when we watched him against Slava Claus, I was like, this dude, you know, he's gritty, he moves forward, he's tough. I'm like, he's probably, you know, he's going to take some damage, but I didn't think he was going to get KO'd. I wasn't sure on that. Hamzat would demolish Nickel, and I'm not even a fan of both. Yeah, Hamzat's a way better fighter, way better overall mixed martial artist. What's up, Jack? Why does the UFC think Bo is a megastar or is megastar material? I don't think that they, if you want my honest opinion, I don't think they think he's a star. I think that they're like forcing him down everyone's throat, kind of like Sean O'Malley, but like Sean O'Malley is at least like, you know, he's a striker. He's kind of flashy. He's kind of got a little bit of something going where Bo is just kind of like, hi, I'm Bo Nickel. Like, I don't know. Like, he's not very interesting. There's nothing interesting about him. Like, yeah, he's an All-American and all that stuff with Penn State, which is all very impressive. Straight up wrestling, like, it's impressive. But this is MMA. And in terms of, like, fighting, I don't think he's very entertaining. Fighting style-wise, personality-wise, what's entertaining? Like, even, like, Sean O'Malley, personality of a wet mop. But his fighting style is at least entertaining, you know? Who do I got? Shara versus MVP. That's a great fight. That's a great fight. I want to see it. I think MVP could be a problem for him because MVP's got good hands and Shara Bullet is very susceptible to the boxing. But again, MVP's not the best boxer, but he does have good power. I might have to go MVP because anyone that's standing in front of MVP just only striking, it's a problem. What's up, Frankie? How you doing, man? Yeah, Roberto, he came out hard and then he gassed a little bit, but yeah, that was a good performance. Hopefully the UFC will give him a good fight next. You're rooting for Rufy to beat BSD, and I think he can get it done. Yeah, so do I. So do I. Was Gregor Gillespie good? He was meh. Kron Gracie getting a ranked opponent is disgusting. Isn't he on the main card too? They have fucking Kron Gracie on the main card. It's craziness. Crazy. And then don't they have like Aljo versus Mobstar on the prelims? Which that's a main card worthy fight. Main card opener at least. That's a good fight. Mobstar versus Aljo. They should rebook the Campbell fight for Rufy. Maybe they will. I think that they will. I think that they had like the expectation of maybe if Rufy does really well, we could just kind of really start ramping it up here like what they've done with Protez. But after that fight that just happened, I think they're going to slow play it a little bit. That extra weight saved James from getting knocked out. That could be too. That could be too. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, the Patrick Mahomes no looker left hook was nasty. That was nasty, man. Yeah, he is so good on the feet, dude. Mauricio Rufy, he's so fun to watch. You think Rufy lost that first round, but Rufy took over in the second and third round. Yeah, he started to look a little tired as it played out because I think that, you know, kind of what Rogan was saying was that style, like kind of like McGregor, that explosive, you know, very long bladed karate kind of style that makes you tired, man. It makes you tired. You still can't believe that the trash performance Bo had the nerve to glaze his performance. So that's what he always does, man. Makes so many fucking excuses after, and he's like, "Oh, I'm young in the sport," and he always has like a bunch of excuses after. Which I mean, that is kind of true. He's young in the sport, but still, he's always making excuses. You're picking MVP to beat Shara Bullet. Yeah, I mean, I like Shara. I think he's fun to watch, but MVP, dude, anyone that's just standing in front of him, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Yeah, Kron Gracie's got great jiu-jitsu, but sucks at everything else. Awful, 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 awful striking. Like even clinch work, everything is awful, basically, except for the jiu-jitsu. Yeah, it was a bad weekend for the Iron Mikes. Who wins the Volkov versus Gon rematch? I mean, what would Volkov do differently? I guess is my question. I know he looked good against Sergey Pavlovich, but Sergey is like, basically he's a little slower. He's a big power dude. Where Volkov, yeah, his grappling's improved. Maybe if he's able to take Gon down and hold him down and control him and things like that. But I think Gon's just too fast. I just think he's too fast, to be honest. I think Gon will probably win again by decision. Being clear after the Sterling fight in 300, he doesn't deserve to be in the main card. But it's the style matchup though. That's what I'm saying. Like stylistically, Mobsar should be able to stuff the takedowns. And if he can't, and Aljo just goes in there and out grapples Mobsar, that's really impressive. And I think Aljo has the better submissions. He's a better finishing threat than Mobsar, but I think Mobsar is better striking. It's a good matchup. Yeah, that's how I had it. Rufy 1 and 2, and then he faded in the third. Might be that old Gracie pull, like Kron must have said he wanted a ranked opponent if he's going to fight again. Yeah, probably something along those lines. But either way, I'm never excited to watch Kron Gracie fight ever. I respect his jiu-jitsu and stuff, but in terms of like MMA, come on, man. Who do I think Rufy, or what do I think Rufy needs to improve if he wants to get into the top 5, or do I think he's good enough already? I think he has the skills. I think a lot of it is just going to be, I don't want to be like basic and say just like the cardio, but he's going to have to figure out how to not gas and not get so fucking tired and be maybe a little bit more active. But his style is not volume. He's more of like kind of like a Prime McGregor. He just picks his shots, sets you up. He's very like fluid, very, aggressive, very powerful, but he doesn't throw a lot of volume out there and he gets tired. So for me, I don't know, finding a way to not get so fatigued if you can't put somebody out and upping the volume up a little bit, I think. Remember when Bo said he would have beaten or would have been surprised if he was a minus 1,000 favorite to beat Hamzat? Yeah, Hamzat should be a minus 1,000 to beat his ass because Bo Nickel's striking is atrocious. It's terrible. Paul Craig is one of the worst strikers we've ever seen because he's fought at light heavyweight and middleweight, one of the worst strikers we've seen there. But he has good jiu-jitsu, no question there. So it's a little bit of a weird style matchup for Bo, but a lot of that, I think, looking back on it, was the UFC trying to make Bo exciting, actually, by giving him someone that can't strike for shit and isn't going to beat Bo in the grappling. The only issue that could be is if Bo takes him down, maybe he gets caught in a sub, but he should be able to just beat Bo all around. Or Bo should just be able to beat him all around. So I think that's what they were doing, was trying to make Bo look entertaining by making it, giving him a guy that he could just stand and tee off on. But he still didn't look that good. Yeah, if Rufy can, if he has better cardio, he'll be a problem for sure. No question. Who's winning, Jan or Figgy? So I'm going to be doing a Fight Night main card prediction video. I'll drop that probably tomorrow. Check it out then. I'm going to hold my prediction for right now. But it's going to be a great fight. That's a great matchup. And, dude, shout out to Jan because every single fight that this guy has is the next best dude, best dude, man. Absolutely is the best next dude. Like, you think about it. Aljo twice, Corey Sandhagen, Marab, Song, and now Figgy on a 2-fight win streak at bantamweight. Like, the dude, at former flyweight champion, he's always taken hard fights, man. Always taking hard fights. Wouldn't mind. Or what did I think about the stoppage at Tybura versus Denise? I thought it was a good stoppage too. I thought it was a good stoppage. Those cuts, man, they were already wide open. There was 3 of them, one on each. I think there was one over each eye, and then there was like one in the middle here. One shot by Tybura, and they would just go boom and bust wide open, and the cut would go jagged. And now you're looking at a way worse cut, and then Denise will be even sideline longer. So it's good that they stopped it because he wasn't going to win the fight. You wouldn't mind Joel Hernandez versus Rufy? That would be good. You mean Joe Alvarez? That'd be good, but I don't think they're going to do that one. I don't think they're going to do that yet. They're going to keep building those guys up. You think they just gave Bryce Mitchell that fight to protect him after that Emmett KO? 100%. 100%. Bryce Mitchell will look like Izzy out there with the striking. He'll look like a top 10 striker after beating Kron Gracie. Yeah, the card this weekend, it's loaded. It's loaded up. The prelims are good. There's a lot of good prospects, but in particular, the main card. The main card is really, really good. It really is. Diego Ferreira versus Ludovic Klein, banger. I like Ludovic Klein, man. I like Ludovic Klein a lot. But you can't sleep on Diego either, though. Jan versus Figgy is 50-50. Yeah, I think so. Look, what concerns me is this. On the feet, Davison Figueiredo is really fast. He's got really good timing, good striking, good power. His power is translated going up to bantamweight. He seems to be a little bit faster than everybody coming up from flyweight. And the power translates, which is the big thing. The thing is, his grappling could be an issue for Jan. But again, Jan has good takedown defense. He's got good takedown defense, but we have seen him taken down and controlled. Figgy does have good submissions. But I think if this just plays out on the feet, I think Jan beats him. But again, if you can't stop the takedowns, make no mistake about it. Figgy's coming into this to grapple. 100%. He's going to try to grapple. Who's winning, Aljo or Mobsar? I think Mobsar beats him. You're looking forward to this Saturday's card, especially the main card, but man, it's going to start super early in the morning for me. Yeah, here on like the East Coast of the U.S., I think it's going to be like, 3 a.m. or something crazy? You watched tape yesterday, and Volkan versus Carlos Alberg is way closer than the odds make it seem. Yeah, the way that I look at that fight too is I think Carlos Alberg's speed is going to be the issue. I think that's going to be the problem, and he chews up the lead leg really nice. The only problem is if Alberg can't keep Volkan at bay and can't keep him at range and keep him off of him, Volkan might be a problem. Well, not might. He will be a problem because he's got crazy power. But again, I think Alberg's got really good footwork and then good speed. So I think it's going to be a problem. Wong got to get a finish the way people are hyping her. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that I think she's going to get a KO. They're going to build her up, man. They're going to build her up because potentially they got a big fight with her and Valentina. You know what I mean? So will we ever see that? I don't know because of how far off I think Wong could be from a title shot. Again, a couple wins, maybe she could get there, but I don't know. I call it Bang Bang Wong. She's fun to watch, man. She's got crazy power. Fun to watch. What's up, Muhammad? John is asking for a lot of money. And we know a country who is willing to spend a huge amount of money to make any fight happen. Just imagine we are hearing Dana announce John versus Tom in Saudi. I mean, look, I don't give a shit where the fight happens. I just want to see it happen. But if I had to guess, they would probably do that in the U.S., though, because John would be defending the belt and he's from the U.S. So I would imagine that they would probably do that here. But again, maybe they do like some sort of Riyadh event and do it at like the Sphere again or something. I don't know. And they have like Riyadh season a part of it. I could see that, but I don't think they would do that fight over in Saudi. But again, you never know. You never know. Cruz said he wants to get one last dance. You think they should make him versus Aldo? Yeah, for sure. Because he's finally out of the rankings. He was in there for way too long. But yeah, Jose Aldo beats the shit out of him, though. That's the only thing. So I don't know if we'll take that fight, though. Main card starts at 12 for that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, that's a better time than oh wait. 12 a.m. You mean like yeah, I mean I don't know. For us here it's early as shit. Saturday morning, which is kind of cool though. Who's winning, Randy Brown or Battle? I like Battle. To be honest with you. Teixeira at heavyweight. Look, the door's wide open at heavyweight, man. That's the issue with heavyweight now, man. It's hard to find like good contenders. It's hard to find good contenders. Yeah, that's the issue with Veronica Hardy. She's very good technical. Like technically, she's like very, very good. She's got good footwork. She's like a complete fighter, but she just gets out the physicality. She just gets out like she fights people and just doesn't have the physical advantages that they have or the strength or whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like the other people just bully her around. And if they're bigger, they get a hold of her, they dominate her in the grappling, they just kind of hold her down. That's a problem, you know? So that's the issue there. But yeah, I thought she was doing all right again, but then when she gets taken down, it's a problem. But again, she just needs more. She doesn't have a lot of sting on her shots, and that's the issue. She's, so they should do Jones versus Tom at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. That'd be fun. That would be fun. They'll probably do it in a big venue for sure. You're going with Battle to get a finish against Brown. I think he can get one. I think he can get one. What's up, Coach Tupa? How you doing, man? Thanks for hopping on. Hope you're doing well. She also got outstruck on the feet. Mora was tagging her. Yeah, that's the issue with Hardy. She doesn't have any power. She doesn't have any pop in her shots. She doesn't have like a crazy submission threat. I thought that she was going to be able to stick and move and listen. If you're picking Hardy to win, you're picking her to win by a close decision. To where maybe she takes 2 rounds. It's very rare that you see Hardy win all 3 rounds. It's usually a split decision or she wins 2 out of the 3. But it's never like she just goes out there and gets a clean sweep, which I don't know. Your dumbass really thought Denise was the next big thing. I didn't think he was the next big thing, but I thought that he was gonna beat Tybura. I really did. But again, I was like, if he gets taken down, it's gonna be a problem because Tybura has good grappling. He's got good ground and pound, good submissions, which we saw the ground and pound. So I was like, that's gonna probably be an issue. But I don't know. Having the greatest analyst of all time in her corner didn't help Veronica. Yeah, that's the thing though. Like having a great analyst is cool. You know what to do. But again, when you're in there and the bullets are flying, so to speak, and it's like happening right now, it's a little bit different. It's hard to go in and do everything that you were going to do or think of everything that you were, thinking of the whole camp. Like it's helpful, but it's not the end all be all though in fighting. It's kind of hard to, because you can't hook up a controller to the fighter, Did I watch Serrano versus Taylor? Yeah, I did. I like watching Amanda Serrano. I think she's really good. Katie Taylor's really good. The cuts, they kind of rubbing her, head into the cuts was a little fucked up, but I wish that there was no cut because they're great. I could watch it again. And I almost wish Serrano won so that way it was 1-1. Denise could have finished Tybura in round 1 if he hadn't let him up. Yeah. That's what happens, man. These young dudes are on the rise. They get that first big step up, and a guy that's like because Tybura is kind of like a gatekeeper at heavyweight. But again, experience and we see that happen. These young dudes come in and they swing for the bleachers. They don't get the KO, and then they get taken down. Shit starts to not go their way. What do I think they're doing with John? Given he wants Pineda, but Dana said he's going to do the Tom fight next. They're not doing the Pineda fight because they're going to do Pineda versus Ankalaev, and then they're going to do Aspinall versus John Jones. Or if John doesn't want the fight, they're just going to be like, then retire. I don't think him versus Pineda is that big of a fight. I really don't. To the casual eye, maybe. Why is it a big fight? John Jones is a far better grappler than Poatan. He's a far better grappler. Poatan putting on the weight and stuff like. Yeah, he's a better striker, probably. He's a better striker, don't get me wrong. John's just going to take him down. Just going to march him down and take him down. That's why John wants that fight. And then if he happens to get KO'd somehow by Poatan, he could be like, oh, I got KO'd by one of the great combat athletes. That's why he wants that fight. Because if he gets KO'd by Aspinall, it just looks really bad. It really doesn't. I should say, if John beats Aspinall, I don't think that the GOAT debate would really be anymore. Like it would be like, okay, yeah, John's done some stupid shit and this and that. But if John went out there and like defeated Aspinall, he'd be the GOAT. That's why I'm like, people are already talking about him, as the GOAT, but I don't know. If he goes out there and beats Aspinall, that would be like for sure a solidifier. What's up, Entertain? How you doing, man? Sad that Chandler lost. I was hoping that he could get a W, but I like Oliveira too, so I didn't want to see anybody lose that fight. I couldn't believe how Oliveira just completely out-grappled Chandler. That was crazy to me. That surprised me. Yeah, listen, it's a big fight because it's big names, but again, like stylistically, like John's a really bad matchup for Alex. And Dana knows that. He knows that. He's not going to want to dampen the star power of Poatan either. You know what I mean? Jones retires. Alex defends against Ankalaev. Tom versus Alex for the heavyweight belt. Everyone happy. That's possible. That's possible. I could see that happening. That's it. Because listen, Pineda versus Aspinall. I mean, for me, I like that fight more than John versus Pineda because styles make fights. You know what I mean? Styles make fights. Aspinall still has good grappling, but I don't know. That'd be a fun fight. Yeah, John's ground and pound's a problem, and he's got a really good clinch game. Pineda doesn't have the greatest of clinch. He still clinches like he's in kickboxing. And dude, I'm telling you right now, people are sleeping on Ankalaev against Poatan because Alex is aggressive. He's going to be there to hit, and he's struggling. You know, southpaws can find his chin, not necessarily to KO him, but they can land. And I think Ankalaev is better. He's got better hands than Roundtree. He's got faster hands. He's got more power in his hands. Roundtree's got better kicks, though. So, I don't know, man. Like, people are sleeping on Ankalaev. They are. And Poatan keeps his hands low as hell. So, he's open to being countered. Chandler should fight down the rankings like Fiziev or Moicano, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, it's coming up on that point, though. But again, he's always reliable. Chandler is always reliable. You know he's going to show up, and you know it's going to be an entertaining fight, whether he wins or loses. Yeah, fighters don't fear credentials. Charles is like your D1 wrestler who cares. I'm still going to go for takedowns. I'm leveling up my game. I'm an MMA fighter. Yeah, dude, Charles Oliveira is one of my favorite fighters to watch. I really enjoy watching them fight. I didn't want to see either guy lose, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But I like watching Oliveira fight. I still don't think he beats Islam, though. I still don't think he beats Islam. So. Aspinall won't stand in front of John like Stipe did. No, he'll be moving. He's got good footwork, man. He's not just a sitting duck. Stipe was like a sitting duck. If you guys didn't see my recent video I dropped this morning, check that out where I talk about Aspinall versus John, and then I kind of touch on the Stipe John Jones fight because I watched it back this morning, and yeah, I had some different thoughts. Who's the hardest hitting 135er? Well, the hardest hitting 45er is Jeremy Stevens. I'm just kidding. Hardest hitting 35er? Wasn't I saying recently that there was someone that was a hard hitting 35er? Off the top of my head, I can't think of I don't know. If Asakura wins, do I want to see him fight at 135? I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to get through Pantoja, though. I don't know if he's going to get through Pantoja. Charles is aging like wine. He is, dude. He's getting better and better and better every time we see him. And the way that he kept Chandler on his back foot was crazy. He was aggressive as shit. It was a good fight by Charles. For the love of God, just give poor Chandler the Connor fight. I know he needs that Connor fight, man. He needs a giant payday, and then he can ride off into the sunset. Or re-sign Eddie Alvarez and do the trilogy. Chandler versus Alvarez because they're one apiece. They fought in Bellator twice. Yeah, I mean, I think that they gave Bo Paul Craig because he's not a good striker, and the fight was going to play out wherever Bo wanted it, and they kind of wanted Bo to have an entertaining performance, and it still wasn't entertaining. That's why I think they gave him that fight in hindsight, looking back on it. A part 2 fighter stand? What do you mean? On Tamirov, I picked him in his I don't know if I'm thinking of the right person. Didn't he just recently no, I'm thinking of no, I did pick him to win. Didn't he just fight and he won? I picked him to win. And didn't he come over from Ryzen? Am I thinking of the right person? And I just picked him to win, and he won. He fought recently. Did I see the Tyson Paul fight? No, I didn't stay up for that. I turned that shit off. I watched the co-main event, and then I turned it off. I wasn't watching that. I knew how that was going to go. I watched the highlights though in the morning. Charles had Chandler running like a he had him running around. I know it was weird, man. It was weird seeing Michael Chandler like not being willing to just move forward as much. That version of Charles would beat Armin in a 5-rounder. I think so too. Oh, the fighter impression video. Yeah, I could do that at some point. Yeah. Because I've gotten better at it. That one was just that one was a little lousy. So I'll update that. Yeah, what's up, Real Eyes? Yeah, he was fouling a lot in that fight. I agree with you. Bobby Green versus Chandler. Dude, Chandler would destroy him. He would destroy him. That'd get Chandler a win, though. You think John will win over Glover? Age pretty good, so, or you think his win over him? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Glover beat up on Jan Blachowicz. Yeah, dude, those kicks to the body were nasty on Stipe. That front kick up the middle and then that spinning back kick was nasty, no question. Sadly, Chandler only has 2 wins in the UFC. That's against Hooker and Ferguson. Yeah, and the Hooker win has aged well. I mean, yeah, that was a great performance. Hooker kind of looked a little bit out of it, but still, that was a good performance by Chandler. Arman and Islam are bad matchups for Charles. Yeah, anyone that's got like really, really good wrestling is going to be a little bit of a problem for Charles. The co-main from the Tyson event was good. Was good shit. Those girls are hard. Yeah, for sure, dude. Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. That was that was a big fight, no question. That was a great fight. Charles already beat Armin, so he would do it again. Yeah, the fight was close. I think in a 5-rounder, I think Charles, especially Oliveira that we just saw against Chandler, he looked great. He looked improved too. You know, yeah, he looked a little tired against Armin too. What's Chandler on a four fight losing streak? He might be. Yeah, ever since the Ferguson fight, because he's lost to who? I don't know if it's a 4-fight losing streak, but yeah, because he lost to Poirier, Gaethje, and now Oliveira, and then he lost to Connor by waiting around all that time. Yeah, if he fought the same way against those wrestlers, but see, here's the thing about Armin and Islam is they're not just like wrestlers though. They have good striking. You know what I mean? So that's what I think gives Charles some issues is he's worried about the grappling, but those guys have good striking too. You think Stipe was confident going for it with the boxing until the takedown, and he was literally trying to survive? Yeah, he looked like a fish out of water on the ground, dude. John Jones was. I was impressed with John's grappling in that fight. At some point, Diego Lopez is going to have to move up. Wouldn't mind seeing him fight Charles. I don't know if we'll see that fight based off of like the timing, but yeah, Diego Lopez is big for the weight class for sure. Yeah, the confidence left him. Yeah, after that first round, Stipe looked a little bit different. He still landed some good shots, but yeah. Yeah, the fact that the crowd turned on Bo and called him overrated, I know. That's it. When do we ever see that? That's not a very often thing we see. Tom Aspinall finishes Jake Collier. Yeah. Yeah, that's a list there. But yeah, I mean, and look, out of that list that you just said, Spivak, that's not a bad win, right? People shit on that win. Spivak's got good submissions. He's a good grappler. That's a good win. Tybura, good grappling. Maybe not the best guy. It's still a good win. The Volkov win, that's a good win. Pavlovich, that's a really good win. And Blades, that's a good win. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what people want Aspinall to do. They're like, who's he beat? Well, who do you want him to fight? There's nobody else to really fight at heavyweight. He would have destroyed Stipe. Even prime Stipe would have destroyed him. You know? Charles beats Lopez. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Notice how Charles barely went for takedowns against Armin. That's proof he's not confident he could out grapple him. What if they did a rematch and he went out there and just came out like a bat out of hell, just trying to grapple the whole time? Bo Penny. Yeah, he's Bo Penny. Boo Nickel. Yeah. Only guy left for Tom is gone. He has cleared the rest of the division. That's a fight that I would really like to see. I would love to see Tom Aspinall versus Gane. I still think that Aspinall would probably just take him down and sub him, but stylistically, that's a good fight. I like that the way that fight looks stylistically. To me, I think that's a good fight. If John gets on top of Tom, though, yeah, for sure. Tom Aspinall. I mean, Tom has really good grappling, but I think that John Jones's ground and pound would be an issue. Definitely. Can Francis beat Tom and John? I think Francis can beat John. Can he beat Tom? The footwork and timing of Tom might be a little bit of an issue. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it would be. Tom versus Prime Kane. That'd be a great fight. That would be a great fight. I'd love to see that. Jalton subs Tom. He maybe may Early on, Almeida's dangerous. If Almeida was like meaner, dude, he would be a real problem. He would be a real problem, but he's not that mean, you know? Gon can win against Aspinall. Yeah, if he could stop the takedowns and keep it on the feet, yeah, for sure. Because the one, he's like the one dude in the weight class that can like match him with the speed and like the footwork and stuff. Yeah, heavyweight is light heavyweight's a smidge better than heavyweight, but yeah, it's like the top of the division is good and then the rest of it is just ass. Yeah, the Almeida versus Tom fight would be interesting. Let's see if Almeida can kick it into gear because he's good. He's good. He's just not mean enough. And he should have beaten Blades, but I picked Blades to beat him because I figured that was going to happen, whatever happened there. But yeah, heavyweight is a bad division. And you're right. And Tom cleared out the division, and now John doesn't want to fight him. So it's like, what the hell do we do now? And I think Gon versus Aspinall is the best matchup stylistically at heavyweight. Yeah, that I've heard that too. That Gon's turned down the fight against Aspinall. Yeah, I think Tom would KO Almeida. Almeida would have to dive for a takedown like Chimaev early as hell in the fight, and hopefully get an early takedown, take his back, get an early sub. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. Like, I would love to see Aspinall versus Jones. I'm just not confident that we get it. Yeah, Aspinall is good grappling, but I see what you're saying though. On the feet, Gon is overall probably a better striker, but Aspinall's got better boxing and more power. Yeah, that's the thing. We haven't seen Tom in the later rounds. So that's what I'm saying. If he goes in there and he fights John and John can survive the early rounds and drag it out, I think John can have some success for sure. What's up, Wolf Fuel? How you doing? How the hell does Jailton even pass drug tests? I don't know, dude. He's a great athlete. He's just not mean enough. You know what I mean? Like when he fought Derek Lewis, like he could have landed crazy ground and pound in that fight. He just doesn't. He doesn't look for finishes that. I mean, he's got good submissions. Sometimes he looks for a submission, but he could land some devastating ground and pound. He just doesn't. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, John's grappling looked impressive against Stipe. If DDP is rumored to fight on the Australia card, is Hamzat able to travel to Australia? Yeah, he was supposed to be doing some like meet and greet or something over in Australia, Chimaev recently. Reminder that Taporia's biggest win going into the Volk fight was Emmett, and now people are saying he's the fighter of the year. Doesn't matter who Tom has beaten, but how he's beaten them. Exactly. That's a great point. That's a great point. And I always say, like, sometimes we kind of hold it against people when we're talking about a prediction. We're like, who has this guy fought? But at the end of the day, like, it's not Tom's fault. Like, he's fighting who the UFC's putting in front of him, you know? Almeida versus Jones. I don't think we get that fight. I don't think we get that fight. What's up, SKR? How you doing, man? But yeah, again, if Jailton Almeida was more aggressive, if he was meaner and actually landed ground and pound and actually had a little bit more in terms of the striking, I think that he could be like we could be looking at a possible champion at heavyweight. But again, he's not that mean. He doesn't land crazy ground and pound. He's got great submissions, great takedowns, really good entries. He's just I don't know. He's not mean. That's the way I say it. You remember people were saying Pavlovich beats John. Yeah, I mean, unless Pavlovich can clip him early. But again, that's what makes it so interesting because people think that John could beat Pavlovich, but then they don't think John could beat Aspinall. And it's like, I know Tom beat Pavlovich, and yeah, he's faster than Pavlovich, but you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think Aspinall would beat definitely if anybody's going to beat John, it's Aspinall, you know? How does Taporia versus Islam go? I think Taporia is the only person that could beat Islam. If you want my honest opinion, I don't think anyone at 55 is beating Taporia. I think beating Islam. I think that Islam's hardest matchup would be a guy like Taporia. Low center of gravity, good grappling, good submissions, but outstanding boxing. He doesn't throw a lot of kicks. He's got those really good calf kicks, but he doesn't leave himself vulnerable to getting a kick caught or anything like that. He's just basically a boxer, and he's got crazy, crazy power. I think Taporia has more power than a lot of 55ers. You want to know when we'll see Ilya's older brother fight in the UFC, especially since it seems like he's going to be fighting at bantamweight? I'd love to see him fight. I'd love to see him fight soon, man, because he's good. He's a damn good fighter. Alexandre, however you say it, is his name, first name. Too small for Islam, but he's stout though. He's a stout dude. I mean, Islam's bigger, yeah, for sure, but I don't know. I think Topuria could be an issue for Islam. The only reason you don't know who to pick is we still don't really know how good Topuria's defensive grappling is since only Bryce shot in on him. That's true. That's true. I'd like to see him face a dangerous grappler at 145, like if he fought Mobstar Evloev, which Mobstar is not really like a dangerous grappler though. He doesn't really have a submission threat. He's got decent striking, but he's just kind of a wrestler. He doesn't really have great submissions or vicious ground and pound or anything like that. So like a guy like Aljo or something, like I don't know. I'm just thinking of who would be at featherweight would be like a guy that would relentlessly chase takedowns that has good submissions or something, you know? Getting a takedown against Max is a big deal. I know, and he made it look pretty easy. You know what I mean? Max is a hard guy to take down and keep down. Mobstar getting knocked out in the first round. Yeah, I think Topuria KOs him. Topuria beats Sarukian. I think he could. I think he could. Yeah, I think he could. But some of those 55ers are big, man. Armin's a big dude. So I don't know. What's up, Dev? How you doing, man? Thanks for hopping on here. But again, I like the Charles Oliveira we saw this past weekend. I'd like to see him maybe one more fun fight and then get another crack at the title. But Charles is a fun dude to watch, man. Or maybe he could go up to 170 or something. I don't know, depending on how that plays out. Yeah, as the as the self-proclaimed face of boxing, yeah. The judo throw by John is the stuff you see in lower weight classes like Islam. Impressive. Yeah, that was dude. John Jones, there's no question. He's very skilled. He's very good all around. I just think Aspinall's a hard fight for him. I think Charles should have tried to steal the Connor fight from Chandler. Connor's not going to fight him, though, and I think Charles knows that. Yeah, I mean, of course, in terms of the payday, and Charles would beat the shit out of Connor, but yeah, I don't think that fight happens. Rufy versus Orlabay, maybe. What do I think of Oliveira's performance? I thought he looked great. He looked the best he's ever looked. He just went in there and ragdolled Chandler around, outstruck him on the feet, attacked his lead leg, landed some really good shots. He looked great. I thought Oliveira looked really good. Yeah, there's a beat special, that little like trip, little sweep. A lot of UFC guys have been watching your videos lately. Who's the UFC guys? I don't know what UFC guys you're talking about. Ilya said he didn't even try to hold Max after the takedown. He only wanted Max to do have something more to be concerned about it in order to develop his striking. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like if the problem is Topuria knew if he was going to chase the grappling and he wasn't going to be able to submit Max or anything, he was going to get up and be tired as shit standing in front of Max to where Max is like an avalanche. He starts to get that flow going and can make you look silly. I think Topuria was worried about if he can't finish him on the ground, then he's going to be tired on the feet and get peppered. So I think that's why he was resorting to, I think he just basically shot for a takedown just to prove a point, I think. Charles versus Patty and the grappling is 50-50. I mean, Patty's got good grappling. He's just so bad on the feet that Charles would piece him up on the feet, though. I don't know that Charles could sub him easy, but I definitely could see him doing it, though. Charles literally said Connor doesn't want to fight him. Yeah, he's not going to want to fight him. Connor can't beat Oliveira, dude. Connor knows that. No, you're not the only one who thinks Jones beats Aspinall. There's some other people that I think that. With a really good game plan, I think he could possibly beat Aspinall, but I don't know. I don't know. Orlabay versus Rombetsky was a bloody fight. You're hoping Orlabay gets another goes to another gym instead of Alpha Male. Yeah, Alpha Male, it feels like all these fighters like hit like a ceiling at some point, and they all become like really basic and one-dimensional. I don't know. So, yeah, but I know what you mean. You'd never bet against John. I mean, he's won basically every fight. So I see that there. Which UFC fighters though? I've seen some fighters have like reposted some stuff that I've said or have commented on some of my stuff, like Chandler, Charles Johnson, Muhammad Makayev, and then Brennan Schaub followed me because he liked what I was. I reposted something from him and then gave my thoughts on it, and then he followed me. So I thought that was cool. I like Brennan Schaub. I've been watching Brennan Schaub for a long time before I even started my own YouTube. I like Brennan Schaub. Elia took down Max to show Max that he could be beaten that way too. Yeah, Topuria was just trying to prove a point for sure. Plumby Pumblet wrecked Topuria. No, Topuria would beat the hell out of Patty, dude. Dustin versus Fizzy. That's a great fight. I don't think we get it, but that's a great matchup. I love that fight. Maybe we get Oliveira versus Poirier too. Maybe they do that again. Poirier versus Oliveira too. Run it. I don't know. That'd be a fun fight. Who would win, Almeida or Gon? If Almeida could get the takedowns and keep him down, I think he can sub him. But if it stays on the feet, Gon picks him apart and finishes him. Yeah, there's too many rematches at 55, man. That's the problem with that division. Can Islam finish Arman, sub or TKO? I think he could TKO him. I think he would TKO him. Jake versus Mike was a massive cash grab. That's all it was, man. It was just a fun way to make a bunch of money for each other without taking a bunch of damage or anything. You can't box guys who punch harder than you. You need to be perfect all the time while they need to be perfect once. Yeah, that's kind of like Topuria versus Holloway. That's like how Alex Pineda is with Izzy. Izzy had to be perfect for 25 minutes, until he was able to KO him the one time. But, when someone's got that great equalizer, you got to be perfect. That's like when Volk fights Topuria. Volk has to be perfect for 25 minutes, and Topuria she's just got to land that one shot. Islam by decision. I can see that. I think Islam could get a finish, though. Who would have won, Buck versus Cuck? I wanted to see that fight, man. I think that Ian could have beaten him. I think he could have outpointed him and won a decision. But I could have seen where Buckley was able to catch him with something and KO him, though. We need new contenders at the lightweight division. 100%, dude. It's getting stale. It's getting stale out here. Fizzy beat Topuria. Nah, I mean, I don't know who beats Topuria, man. I really don't know. What's up, Hank? Will Bryce Mitchell versus Krog Gracie finally prove that the earth is flat? Yeah. Yeah. Protest has insane power, too. He does. He does. I like him at 170. He's fun to watch, man. I like Carlos Protest. He's got the it factor. I was saying that after he KO'd Li Jingliang. Shavkat versus Gary should be for the interim belt. I agree. But again, I don't think they want him to put an interim on the line because they kind of took away the meaning by having Aspinall win an interim title and then defend an interim belt. You know what I mean? Like that. That's not a good look. So, and I don't think Bilal is going to be out that long, right? So, a lot of good prospects at lightweight. Just give him some time. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of good prospects. Gary versus No Bickle. Yeah, Bo Nipple. I think we could see that at some point. I could see that in the near future. It's going to be a while before we see Bo fight like the top-ranked dude, though, especially after some of these performances, in my opinion. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Bot Nickel. You mean Dustin, Justin, Chandler, Dariush, potentially Oliveira, Moicano will probably be gone within 2 years? I know, man. It's sad though. At the same time, it's like cool that we got new guys on the rise, but sad seeing some of the fan favorites come towards the end here. You're a fan of Protest, dude. Is so cool and fun to watch as hell. He's got the it factor, man. He's got the it factor. Yeah, the Leech has a granite chin, man. The UFC was going to do Protez versus Buck, but Protez went into the Magny fight with a broken foot. I know, which makes it even more impressive to go out there with a broken foot and do that. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. Diego Lopez is the only one to beat Topuria on 145. The only one that has or that I could see, but I still don't think he does. It'd have to be in the first round because Diego fades and Topuria doesn't. I think Topuria beats his ass. To be honest. Nichols not fighting top 10 until 2030, till 2050. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, Bo Nichols far off, man. He's far off. Which prospect at any division do I think has the biggest chance of becoming a champion? Mm, Carlos Prates, probably. I think he's got what it takes. Clock is ticking on Bo for sure because he's already like they're already throwing his name around. They're throwing him all on all these main cards, so they can only protect him so much. What's up, Mike Jack? How you doing? Lopez is green. I mean, he's a good fighter. He's got good submissions. He's dangerous on the feet, but he he overswings. There's a lot of gaps in the boxing, and I think Topuria will take advantage of that. And Topuria is very defensively responsible. I think Topuria beats him. Umar's a future champion. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. What do I think of Holloway versus Hooker for the BMF title? I think that'd be a fun fight. I like that matchup. That's a good fight. Narolo versus Yanal. I think Yanal might be able to take that one. Yanal's got good power. Lopez' only chance is to knock out Elia round one. That I agree. I agree with that. I would say only chance, but that would be his best opportunity. Lopez said he would be willing to do a 10-second brawl with Elia. Boy, would that be a head-on collision. That would be, dude. Someone would probably get KO'd. That'd be crazy if we saw that. Lopez isn't bad, just needs a few fights, in my opinion. Yeah, like I and look, he was talking shit. He's like, yeah, well, he's like, I'll stand in the center and slug it out with him in the first 10 seconds. That's how you get a title shot. Talk wild like that, you know? What has been the best fight night card of the year? I don't know. I remember I put that on like a thumbnail for one of them this year. I don't remember which one though. I'd have to go back and watch or see which video I was talking about that. But one of them was my favorite. Can't remember though. Lopez has real power. He could he could knock out anybody in the division. How do I think Max versus Lopez? At 55, Max would just pick him apart, I think. Yeah, Narolo's grappling might be an issue. Yeah, that's true. Ilya and Hamzat inspired me, and now I'm training boxing footwork and head movement more instead of kickboxing and grappling as a whole instead of only BJJ. That's good shit, man. Yeah, Ilya's got the best boxing in the sport, and Chimaev, outstanding grappling all around, and he's got good striking. Chimaev has pretty good striking. He just you don't really get to see it because his grappling is so superior, you know. Yeah, UFC 308, but that wasn't a fight night though. That wasn't a fight night though. But yeah, I like UFC 308. That was my favorite card of the year. You don't see Chandler winning again, to be honest. I think Connor sleeps him if they make that fight. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's a winnable fight for both dudes after what we just saw from Chandler. But again, Oliveira's way better than Chandler at this point in their careers, though. Or Oliveira's way better than McGregor. They should make a Mobstar Lopez 2 #1 contender fight. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I would like to see that back. I think the only way we see a rematch though for that is if one of them has a title. Yuri versus Jamal. What's up, Silva? Yeah, I like that fight. I like that fight. I don't know if we'll see that though. Maybe next. Maybe they make that next. Yeah, Chad. I haven't seen Chad in a while, man. I don't think he's a fan of the channel anymore. I don't know why, but he ducked off. People come and go. People come and go. We had some people that were fans of the channel. I haven't seen them in a minute, man. They're out there hiding and shit, you know? So Tony Ferguson versus Chandler 2. Yeah, to get Chandler a win. Do I think they do Volk versus Lopez first? Do you think they give Volk the rematch? I think they give Volk the rematch. I do. I do. And I don't like either fight for him, to be honest. Yeah, dude, Hamza would have destroyed Bo. He would have destroyed him. Yeah, he's a duck. Yeah, he's a duck. You heard Cerrone was coming back. Book him versus Chandler at 170. Yeah, just give Chandler, give him a body. Just get him a win, man. Ian Gary has a chance against Shavkat. I think Ian Gary actually might beat him. If Buck versus Gary was already booked, why didn't Colby just fight Shavkat? Because he didn't want to fight him. He already knew that they were going to shuffle it around and tell him that he wasn't going to. First of all, Colby should not have gotten an interim title opportunity at all, period. But he knew that they were going to go a different route. He knew that they weren't going to give him a title opportunity. That's why he was like, oh, I'll fight you, shit rat, or whatever he calls him. He calls everybody names and shit. I don't know. I don't like Colby, man. I don't like him. He's annoying. That's why. He's annoying. Used to be active in a chat a while back, remember? I know, yeah, I remember you, man. I remember a lot of you in here have been here for a while, so I appreciate it, you know? What if Usman Nurmagomedov came to the UFC? Um, he would probably he'd probably be a champion because he's great, very good fighter, very good on the feet, very good kicks, kind of like Umar in a sense. Yeah, Chandler would beat up Cerrone. He would. Am I one of those brainwashed people who thinks Aspinall beats Jones? I am. So I guess I'm brainwashed. Buckley is going to put a beating on Colby. Hopefully, Aspinall beats Jones. Yeah, I think Buckley's going to beat the hell out of Colby. I'm surprised Colby took the fight, and it wouldn't shock me if he pulls out, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't know because they'll probably give him a fucking title shot if he beats Buckley. Which, I'm not saying is right, but if he beats Buckley, I'll be impressed. I'd be impressed. Yeah, Buckley's an issue at 170. Remember, I made that video. I was like, bad matchups for the current champs. And I was like, look, I think Bilal is probably not losing to anybody in the division right now. But if someone could beat him, I think Buckley would be a sleeper pick because Buckley is like, he's a problem for everybody, dude, at 170 right now. Yeah, I remember you picked Alexa. I think I remember that. Yeah. You think Buckley would beat Carlos Prates? I don't know about that. I don't know about that because Prates, yeah, Buckley does have really good power, but I think that Prates is, he throws good straight shots. I think he would, Buckley would be trying to loop out on one of those hooks and then nice sniper shot down the middle by Prates. Gary's been training with Shootabox, so how does his grappling match with Shavkat? I think he does well. I think he does well there. We'll find out, though. Buckley versus JDM is 50-50. I mean, I think Buckley I don't know. I think Buckley could beat him. But again, JDM's boxing's really good. Yeah, I think Prates would KO Buckley. Shavkat's overrated. He would be the next BSD. I don't know if it'd be the next BSD, but I definitely think that he's a little overhyped for sure, though. Yeah, Prates he's a better striker than Buckley. But Buckley, dude, he's got this like I don't give a fuck attitude. And he fights like Tyson. He's got like that peekaboo style, just moves forward, leaps into his shots. He's dangerous. And he's got good grappling and he's got good takedowns. Does he have good takedown defense? Yeah, there was someone on social media just put out a video. I think who was Buckley fighting? They were chasing takedowns and they couldn't take him down. Yeah, 170 is a good division right now. But I'm gonna get ready to hop off here, man. If you guys didn't see my recent video with Aspinall and Jones, me talking about that situation, check that out. I did a full card recap too for UFC 309 also. So if Shavkat beats Ian, don't want to hear about him being overrated ever again. Yeah, I mean, if he beats Ian, that'd be a great win, man. That'd be a great win. So, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hopping in today. Hope everybody's doing well, and I will see you next time.